So, Tarek BB, World Trauma Day. Beautiful. All right, so we're just having problems logging into one account. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we got in. Beautiful. And there's another one here. Let's try to get it working. Oh, looks like the stream. Okay. Bummer. It's terrible. Let's see if this works. Yes. Excellent. Okay, beautiful. Welcome everyone to our, first of all, happy World Trauma Healing Day. It's official. Today is World Trauma Day. And my intention for our time together is to support all of you in any trauma that you may be going through right now or any trauma you've been through in your past. So we've got together some amazing speakers to support you and to support the planet during this time with healing, with wisdom, with information, with processes. I personally will be sharing a powerful prayer, blessing, invocation, intention for Palestine, Israel, really the whole planet. We're going to be talking about mental health, how to increase our mental health so we're on top of it, so we can function at our best. We're going to be talking about, we're going to do healings and activations for the nervous system. We're going to be talking about spiritual warfare. We're going to be talking about, I'll be doing activations for security, survival, safety. We're going to be talking about the power of love, the real power, the true power of real love, not the love that we think is love. And we're going to be talking about some health hacks that keep us at our best. Nice to see you, Rosa. Nice to see Sabrina here backstage with us. So for everyone tuning in, feel free to, if you're able to grab this link and share it far and wide. We want the world to be a part of this. It's going to be it is a game changer of an experience, and we're together in this container from now till 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's 10 a.m. now in Eastern time, and we'll be together till 1 p.m. Eastern time. For everyone on IG, you'll only be with us for an hour. If you want to catch the rest of it, for our other speakers, I'll be starting us off, but for the remainder of the experience, I won't be able to go live on IG. So you'd want to type in Tarek BB on YouTube. And then when you go to the homepage, there's a live button. You want to click on that live button, or just anywhere else on Facebook. Just type in my name on Facebook. I should be live streaming there. All right. So let's get into it, guys. I have some amazing recommendations for movies and documentaries to watch as well. And I'm going to be sharing some poems. So I invite you guys to just comment for now. We're creating this container. We're co-creating this experience. What is your intention? What would you like to get out of this experience, or what would you like to let go during our ceremony today? So if you could just type that in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. Yeah, Sabrina, we're thanks for that recommendation. It always works, so I trust that it will work when you're ready to. Irina, are you recording this? Yes, we are recording this 100%, so there will be a replay as well. And if you try refreshing it on YouTube, Sabrina, I just linked it. It should work now. Thank you. You're on top of it. All right, guys. So I know sometimes it takes a while for more and more people to be to jump on these calls. So I invite us to rub our hands together, get our chi, our life force together. Hey, boss, I'll grab it. You guys want to say hi? Oh, okay, you don't even see.
I'll say hi.
Say hi here. Hey, Pops.
Hi, everybody.
That's my pops.
You ruined my house.
I'm staying here with my folks. and apparently I ruined the house.
Ruined the whole house.
What it's really trying to say is thank you for being here, and I appreciate you blessing this house with positive energy.
No. Don't mention these good words.
I just have to translate it.
Boy.
My boss. Okay. Beautiful. Nothing like praise from your parents. Okay, so loving the whiff of the cologne chemicals. For all of you who are chemical sensitive, I'm just in the vortex of the chemicals right now. Please ground me. Okay. Rosa, nice to see that you're smiling. Someone gets it. Okay. Mediterranean, Middle Eastern parents. Okay, so let's take a moment, set an intention. Okay, good. We've got 20 people with us here on Facebook and a bunch more on IG and a bunch more on YouTube. Beautiful. Please take a moment, set your intention. What would you like to co-create in our experience for this World Trauma Day? So the umbrella is trauma, and there's so much that falls underneath that umbrella. What is your intention? What are you wanting to let go of? What are you wanting to activate within you? Let's take a moment to activate that and to set that intention right now. Beautiful. So this event is for you if you're someone who's an empath, someone who's a healer, someone who is more on the spiritual path, someone who's more sensitive, someone who is here. You can call yourself a warrior. I call us warriors of love. Is kind of the name for everyone in our community. But you might have your own label, like a light worker, light warrior, spiritual warrior, healer, priestess, whatever archetype. A lot of people in our community feel we're here to serve humanity, to help. We feel like we're old souls. We've been here many times before. We might still have our third eye a little more open and awakened than most folks. So we are the truth speakers. We're the seers. We're the rebels. We're the black sheep. Someone called it, reframed it the other day, like the black wolf of the family. I really like that. So we're not the black sheep, but we're the black wolf of the family, right? Because sheep are the ones that blindly follow. So how can we be the black sheep? We're definitely not that. And so the power of us getting together to spread our gifts, to spread our knowledge, spread our awareness, to raise our consciousness, raise the frequency, spread that love throughout the whole planet is not just some flaky new agey thing to say. I've actually had a very grounded client when I first started off as a hypnotherapist go into a very deep state of hypnosis where you're just more tapped into your deeper mind, your subconscious, and even superconscious, aka your I call it the infinite self. Infinite conscious self, infinite consciousness. And we did that. We used to conclude every hypnosis session with spreading that love throughout the whole planet. And I never grounded in. I was like, I felt guided to do that. But while he was tapped into that state where he can just tap into any information in real time, I was like, can you let me know what is actually happening? When can you have your infinite consciousness, your subconscious, your superconscious show you the impact, the domino effects of what is happening when we spread that love throughout the whole planet? And he was just like, whoa. He's just seeing it bless everything, everyone, all space, all time, all dimensions, the ripple effects, the domino effects. So it's beautiful to have faith. I mean, that's why I've got it tattooed right there. It's beautiful to have blind faith. And it's also beautiful to cater to the mind that is more grounded in, it's like, I need to know it. Like that's science versus spirituality, right? So we don't have to be all or nothing, but to have it grounded in a way that he showed me. And we even got numbers. I was like, Well, what percentage did this increase the level of consciousness on our planet? I don't remember those stats now, but definitely during Halloween, I'll be doing a very powerful past life regression with hypnosis, healing witch hunts, and all that kind of stuff. So during that experience, we'll definitely do a blessing for the planet and get some stats and increase our consciousness and in real time find how like the statistics of how this impacts the rest of the planet. Okay. What do I do when I'm nervous? I talk a lot. Still getting nervous. It's good. My friend reframed it excited. I'm so excited. Yes. So please let us know if you're here. Wow, 50 viewers. That's amazing. Please let us know. I'm not sure why the comments are not coming through, but please let us know in the comment section. I guess you guys are commenting on all the different platforms. So, but if you're here on Facebook, let us know where you're tuning in from. What is your intention for World Trauma Day? So I'm going to start us off with a poem that I've written and to get things started. And then stay tuned. We've got amazing speakers for the next 3-4 hours. Okay. Let's all take a deep belly breath and release. Let's take another deep belly breath and release. Okay. How are you? People ask. My response, I'm great. But am I? Maybe what I'm really saying is I desperately need some support. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm falling apart. I have put together my broken self with tiny pieces of tape, and it's all coming undone. Maybe what I'm saying is back off. You don't want to know? Maybe what I'm saying is I'm scared to have you care about me, to help me, to be there for me. I am a lone wolf, and that is how I've gotten here this far. And now you want me to let go of the very thing that has helped me survive this far? To surrender control? To trust again? The very thing that leaves me open and vulnerable, easily wounded? So I trust. I take the risk. I take the leap. I get betrayed again and again. And my mind thinks up of all the possibilities of me getting hurt. I almost want it to be true. I expect it to be true. I can't believe you would truly love me. It has to be some kind of conspiracy. I play hide and seek with those around me. Please be there when I need you. I reach out and then I hide again. No peekaboo, more like it's been nice to know you. I'm fine. What I'm really meaning to say is I have found many ways to cope. I use food to make sure I don't feel what's underneath. I used alcohol to numb me, sex and have you love me, overachieving, but it's never enough. Wow, look how much money I made, but no one gives a fuck. I need help. If you reach out, I may find the strength a month from now to respond. But what troubles me now are my own fears. It's my own power. What if every ambition was driven by the need to feel significant? What if everything I'm doing is not coming from the right place? There was a time I would drink myself to bed. I would cry lonesome tears. I would smoke to punish my heart for being so dumb. I would do anything to help me feel numb. I used to make love. I used to be love, I used to see the world like a child, but now the clouds are getting dark and gloomy. The vibe keeps getting spooky, and changing the channel won't stop the fact that there's a horror scene happening somewhere in the world every second. And what is my aim? To be a millionaire? Do I really care? In many parts of the world, the aim is survival. In this part of the world, we're miserable and in denial. We take for granted all the freedoms that we enjoy. We're living like kings and queens while we destroy. But we are slaves. We like to think we are sovereign, but we obey. And we pray to those who prey on us every day. We choose fear or love. We all have that divine spark. And we all have a dark embellishment. The dark ones want us to believe that the dark is all that we are. And the light ones want us to believe that we are only light and heaven sent. I feel so irrelevant. I can't change the world. I can barely change myself. What's the long-term plan here? To find someone to love me, to take care of me. It's easier that way to keep numbing myself until it's done. Feeling high when I'm number one and feeling like a loser when I succumb. I have layers upon layers upon layers of being made fun of being put down, of feeling lesser than, of feeling worthless, of feeling not deserving, so confused and uncertain. God, is there anybody really out there? Or have I been praying to the clouds? I'm sitting back with little faith, watching the devil play a checkmate. We're all pawns in this global chess game, and part of being human is fighting demons, and that's our self-hate. I know it seems dark, and like the sun, you keep shining from above, from within. I'm slipping, I'm sinking, I'm giving in to temptations, to distractions, to empty ambitions. It's all an illusion. I'm taking a time out. I forgot that it was a game. I started to believe the screams and the shouts. You want us to believe in it so bad, so we feed you with our emotions. What if we all started hoping and dropped a million love explosions? What if we all drank from the divine's potion? What if we all spread our wings and started soaring? What if every moment was exhilarating and not boring? What if we stood up to the plate, bake and eat the cake, share and learn from mistakes and hate and procrastinate and being slaves and your old ways and being fake and usher in a new way to be brave, to be bold. All you ever need to know has already been imprinted inside of your soul. Now go. That's a good way to start an event. Hey, Rosa. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, I started off as a poet years ago, and then found it more comfortable to be a rapper. I could be less vulnerable in rap, but poetry is like my moon Pisces coming out full empath, emotions, sensitivity, poetry, channeling. And thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate it. I recorded a bunch of poems recently. Can't wait to share that with you guys. And yeah, it's beautiful to see, the Aries sun that I have come out, masculine and the fire, and it's also beautiful to have that moon Pisces come out and share vulnerability. So let's get right into it, guys. The next step I'll be sharing are tips on mental health. And then we'll do an activation after that. So for mental health, something I've been struggling with for a very long time, and this includes, there's a song I created called Me, Myself, and I. It's on all streaming platforms. And there's a video for it that I shot underwater in Mexico. It's really beautiful. And it has a healing for mental health, depression, anxiety, entity attacks, addictions, all sorts of stuff. But this is the science behind it. So I would write these down. So what are the 4 chemicals that are known as the happy chemicals? We've got dopamine. We've got oxytocin, which, by the way, I highly recommend watching. There's a series on Netflix that just came out about Oxycontin. Netflix. It's just, I think it's called Prescription Painkiller. It's called Painkiller. I highly recommend watching Painkiller because it's a true story. It just came out on Netflix if you still have that. And they talk about this painkiller that has opioids and how it really damaged and created a whole epidemic of addicts who were taking painkillers for something small, and next thing you know, their whole lives are ruined. And I was studying because in the movie they show they were like, how can we come up with a word that sounds better than an opiate? And they came up with Oxycontin. And these guys are fucking black magicians, and definitely check out the series The Cult of Medics. Highly recommend it because they expose these pharmaceutical companies as literally like they're wearing robes and they're mixing in like some of the stuff in vaccines have baby fetuses and whatnot that like, and when you think about witches of the old, they would throw in like, bits and pieces of animals and stuff. So there's the light side of that, and then there's the dark side of that. And it's interesting how I've never seen it depicted so well in Cult of the Medics. And anyways, I could go off on this whole tangent, so I'm bringing myself back. And oxytocin is an anagram of Oxycontin. So it literally feels that these guys subliminally mindfucked us by changing some of the word letters or the order of the letters, Oxycontin and oxytocin. So we think it's like a good thing. So anyways, back to the grounded Virgo rising. Oxytocin is the next happy chemical. And yeah, just let me know. Do you guys know the next ones? Serotonin is the third one, and then endorphins. Shout out to Azura for sharing this link with me recently. And shout out to Sitara, who's really been helping me with these kind of things. So dopamine enables motivation, learning, and pleasure. Oxytocin helps us feel trust, motivates us to build and sustain relationships. Serotonin helps us experience the experience of social power, confidence, and accepting ourselves. Endorphins is a brief euphoria to mask physical pain. So think of dopamine when you have your list of goals and you complete something, you go to work out, you do your yoga, you complete a goal. It's like a feeling of like, I got it. And when you achieve those goals, desires, or needs, dopamine gives a surge of reinforcing pleasure, right? However, we could overstimulate ourselves with dopamine and it could become an addictive thing. Like that's what I'm a recovering workaholic. And workaholicism is you constantly wanting to get the high from completing stuff. So you just keep doing it. So that's why I have a strong boundary. Saturday comes, Sunday comes, and there's no work. So that's my boundary. Or like you can even do it at the end of the day after 5, switch the laptop off, go into a different kind of mood. So it's very connected to developing bad habits and addictions because of its addictive nature. And the effects are fleeting due to its instant gratification feeling, which leaves you desiring more. So if you're tuned into your being and tune into how much of the dopamine are we relying on to feeling good, and try to limit your dopamine. So you can do dopamine detoxes. You can go and learn about how to do a dopamine detox. But the vision I had was remembering me doing Vipassana for 10 days, and that's silent meditation. And then you're like resetting your system, because if it's on the extreme dopamine, then we basically want harmony and equanimity, which is one of the words I learned from Vipassana. So if it's too much on one end, then you want to bring it back by like doing less, slowing down. Less is more. Like even eating like like basic foods with broth instead of like lots of spice and salt and sugar. So you're just like harmonizing. Meditation, right? If we're like, I constantly need stimulation, then meditation becomes the balance. Oxytocin gives a feeling of trust, motivates you to build intimate relationships and sustain them. It's the chemical that you get when you're cuddling. I call cuddles vitamin C. You got to get your daily dose of vitamin C through cuddles. It's the love hormone, because it plays a role in bonding. And this hormone gives you the desire to stick together with those that you trust, which creates a feeling of safety or comfort, helps your body adapt to several different emotional and social situations. Oxytocin, I'm still reading it, Oxycontin, can boost your immune system, which makes you more resistant to the addictive qualities of dopamine. And unlike dopamine, oxytocin gives you a lasting feeling of calm and safety. So that's the one that lasts longer. And it can help fight stress, improve relationships, promote long-lasting positive emotions. So in a minute, we'll do an activation for all of these. Serotonin rewards you with a good feeling when you feel significant or important. It is the pleasure you get when you experience social power, loyalty, or status. And being a South Node Capricorn, that was all about moving up that ladder. It was hard. That played a part. So I'd highly recommend doing your own astrology and finding out how. Like Pisces are very prone to addictions, and that's my moon. And then Aries is my sun, which is very extreme, all or nothing. And then Virgos can be perfectionists, which could lead to workaholicism. So try to look within your astrology and have empathy for the parts of you that are more prone to these things, and see it from that angle. I would recommend. It results from finding opportunities to assert or prevail. This is not aggressive. Rather, it is a calm form of confidence and accepting yourself within the people around you. Serotonin is what motivates a leader to excel and grow. It not only motivates you, but your peers to do the same. The feeling of not letting down their leader, parent, or teacher is what causes this motivation. Serotonin. And then the last one is endorphins. Endorphins release a brief euphoria that masks physical pain. It is a response to pain and stress, which also helps alleviate anxiety and depression. Any kind of physical distress can trigger endorphins. However, you can also get a release of endorphins when you experience runner's high. Runner's high only occurs when you exceed your limits. The release of endorphins acts as a natural painkiller and diminishes your perception of pain. So you'll know you have a dopamine deficiency when you're procrastinating, when you have low self-esteem, when you're unable to focus, feeling anxious and hopeless. You have an oxytocin deficiency when you're feeling lonely, you're stressed, lacking motivation, low energy, fatigue, insomnia, feeling anxious, and feeling disconnected from your relationships. You have a serotonin deficiency, similar to some of the others, when you have low self-esteem, being overly sensitive and emotional, anxiety and panic attacks, mood swings, social phobia, depression, feeling hopeless, insomnia, being obsessive. And you have an endorphin deficiency when you're feeling anxiety, depression, mood swings, aches and pains, insomnia, and impulsive behavior. How do we increase dopamine? All right, so I would write these down. You increase dopamine. One of the ways is meditation. Meditating regularly increases dopamine by 65%. You increase dopamine by doing your to-do lists. Thank you. Thanks to my Virgo rising. This is my favorite thing that helps ground my earth sign. To-do lists. Don't start your day without one. Plan, like every Sunday, I'll plan for the whole week ahead. If I miss doing that on Sunday, on Monday, I'll have a sheet for every day, and something about writing it down grounds it in. So to-do lists, short term and long term. And each time you tick off a goal, you increase your dopamine levels. Eating foods that are rich in L-tyrosine. I might have butchered the word. Some of those foods include avocados, fish, eggs, pumpkin seeds, bananas. Exercising regularly helps with dopamine. And creating something. So creating something, music, art, writing, crafts. I would even say like cooking food does that for me because there's a creative process for that. So creativity. Sometimes we think, what is that good for? Well, it's good for dopamine. Healthy ways to increase your oxytocin. Physical touch definitely was, if look into your love languages, and for me, touch is number one. So I'm constantly, hugging, cuddling, touching, just like, arms around shoulders of people when I'm walking with them. And I used to do that growing up, and I never knew that it was connected to oxytocin. Cuddling, hugging, eye contact, and even shaking hands. So physical contact. Socializing. When lockdown happened, that was definitely decreasing our oxytocin for those of you who were unable to connect with others, but socializing. Pets are great for that. Getting a massage is great for that. Acupuncture is great for that. Listening to music is great for that. Exercise. One of my favorite go-tos, cold showers, stimulates the vagus nerve, and meditation. Next, serotonin, exercise, cold showers, sunshine without vitamin D. And if you're here in places like Canada where you get less vitamin D, there is this technology that supposedly mimics the sun and helps you get your vitamin D during the winter. I tried it last winter, it was pretty good. Eating foods such as bananas, eggs, omega-3, fish, nuts and seeds, leafy greens, and probiotics, and getting a massage. How to increase your endorphin levels? Laughter. So join a laughter yoga class, or just I like watching stand-up comedians that I really find funny and just laughing. Creating music or art, eating dark chocolate or spicy foods increases your endorphins. Exercise or stretching, high intensity interval training, and getting a massage and meditating. So that concludes what I want to share. There's a lot more to the science of this. For now, let us get into, actually, I'm going to share some health hacks and then we'll do some activations. How is that so far, guys? Would love to hear your feedback. And I could put a link to everything I just shared here in the comments so you guys can deepen your understanding of all of that. So it's here in the chat. All right, next we're going to talk about some health hacks. So simple things you can do to hack your health. Taking a cold shower for a good 2 minutes is a great health hack, and the science behind how that helps you is phenomenal. And there are also places, if you're here in Toronto, Othership is a great place where you do the hot sauna and then you do the cold dip, hot sauna, cold dip, back and forth. In BC, when we were in BC, my friend had a portable sauna, and we would take it and park it right outside of a lake, and we would do sauna freezing cold lake. Sauna, freezing cold lake. Intermittent. What a weird word. Intermittent fasting. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Intermittent fasting is when you give your body a break, and I've done this and it's been a game changer. So let's say you stop eating at 7 p.m. and you don't eat anything till the extreme way is till 12. Well, the way people mostly talk about, because you give yourself 8 hours. And then I would do it till I would start eating around 12. I think it's unhealthy when your body is really not grounded and needing it. So whatever time that is for you, but generally, if you could stop eating 7, 8, sleep earlier, wake up earlier. I'm adding the wake up part, but really intermittent fasting is just, let's say you stop eating at 7, 8 p.m. and you start eating at 11, 12 p.m. And that just gives instead of your body using all of its energy just to digest the food you had right before bed, you're giving your body the energy to rebuild yourself and go, let the energy go where it needs to go to bring you to your best self. Another health hack is to eat without distractions. So conscious, intentional eating. I even sometimes do tantric eating where you're literally you're smelling it, you're tasting it. It's like a food meditation. It's an eating meditation experience. Breathing into your belly. Let's do it right now. Breathing from your diaphragm instead of just your chest is another health hack. Another health hack is oil pulling with coconut oil. You can look into that later. Dark chocolate, cacao, what do you call it? Unprocessed cacao, dark chocolate. Something about going for walks every day and looking at the sky, looking at the distance. Walks and the ability to look further than laptop, cell phone is huge. Having a no technology at a certain point of your day. So for me, we've heard of alarm clocks to wake us up, but I have an alarm to start getting myself to sleep, because you can actually train your body to get into that sleep state. So I have it at 9, 10. And then reading a book before I go to sleep helps me get sleepy. Having some magnesium right before bed helps me kind of wind down. And definitely a hack would be making sure you unplug your Wi-Fi or at least put everything in airplane mode and maybe put it out of your room when you're sleeping, as well as not looking at social media right when you wake up. So how you wake up is great. And I would add to that, listening to hypnosis audios while you're sleeping, game changer. Epsom salt baths, oils, essential oils, breath work, meditations, learning something new, going for walks daily. Eating also, I think it's 2 fists. So you don't want to eat to stuff yourself. You just want to eat to fill yourself. And a great documentary on Netflix is called, I think it's about the blue zones all over the world. So these are the zones where people live over 100, and they studied what makes these people so healthy. Bullet points was they don't eat more than they need. They eat just enough. So that's definitely something we can adopt, and I'd add that to the list of things to check out. If someone knows the title, but if you just type in Blue Zones, Netflix, it should pop up. Laughter, make sure you integrate that daily. Fermented foods, tune into your body, but that's your second brain. It's your gut is your second brain. See a doctor if you have a second gut. Workouts, self massage and stretching. Lemon water first thing in the morning is my favorite health hack. What are your favorite health hacks? Let us know. Okay, so we talked about the health hacks. We are going to now do activations. And I might conclude with another. Hey, Tala, nice to see you here. Hey, John. Hey, PD Rum. PD Rum. Oh, there we go. I was sorry, I couldn't see the comments, guys. Here we go. Tuning in from T.O, Toronto. Want to release old traumas and stories and help others to do the same. Beautiful. Someone said, hi, Pops. So much love to you, Tarek. Thank you for sharing your light with all of us. You're very welcome. And Elemental Rhythm in Vaughan, thank you so much. Shout outs to Elemental in Vaughan. They're holding it down. Beautiful community, beautiful brother running it. All the staff there have been awesome. They got the float tanks, they got the cold immersions, breath work, infrared saunas, all that good stuff. Yeah, live. Thanks for writing those notes. Live to 100 Secrets of the Blue Zone. Okay, here we go. We're back. Okay, so let's get into it. Would you like, hey, Sarah, nice to have you with us. Happy World Trauma Day. So let's take a deep belly breath. Hold it and release. Starting now, would you like an infinity healing for Source God Universe to activate within you the healthy balance of dopamine? If you'd like that, you can say yes to receive these healings. Yes. And to heal the negative ways or the imbalances with dopamine, would you like that? Yes. Would you like an infinity healing to activate the healthy levels of oxytocin? Yes. And to heal the imbalances with oxytocin? Yes. Would you like an infinity healing for a healthy amount of serotonin? Yes. And to heal the imbalances of serotonin? Yes. Would you like an infinity healing for endorphins? The healthy way and healing any imbalances with endorphins. Would you like that? Yes. So whenever you're saying yes, you're allowing Source God Universe to do infinite things for you so that you can be the best version of yourself. This includes beliefs, fears, emotions, root traumas, energetics, emotions, physical, karmic release, forgiveness, all sorts of stuff. Everything that's possible. And would you like an infinity healing to master the art of monitoring these happy chemicals, of doing them in the healthiest way possible, that most balanced way possible, and doing it, getting it all from the best ways for you, and also pulling back from some of them when it's too much? Would you like that? So all those activities we shared earlier, would you like an infinity healing to have the discipline to write down those activities, to integrate it into your day-to-day, or to trust your intuition when it's guiding you to do that, but just grounding in that information so that you're aware of what those activities are and you're doing them regularly? Would you like that? Beautiful. And would you like an infinity healing for your mental health, right? For your mental health, having the best mental health, which then we can add physical health, we can add spiritual health, health on all levels. Would you like that? So part of that is discipline, healthy discipline. And then we've got our behaviors and we've got our coping mechanisms, healthy and unhealthy. So would you like an infinity healing to master having healthy discipline There's this really cool song on Spotify I listen to where it just repeats. It's like discipline equals freedom equals freedom equals freedom. And he goes, when you have discipline with money, you experience financial freedom. When you have discipline with food, you experience freedom, health freedom. When you have discipline with anything, your energy, you have more energy. You have discipline with money, you have more money. You have discipline with health, you have better health. So that idea of discipline, I don't know if those of you that are like me where it had a negative connotation, we can alchemize that now and use discipline to our advantage, and healthy discipline. We're not being so rigid and like militant with it, but there's the healthy side of discipline, which gives us freedom. So would you like an infinity healing to have healthy discipline, to recreate what discipline means to you in the healthiest of ways, to heal those past experiences where discipline was more of a tyrannical thing, and forced you to do things you don't want to do? So would you like to have healthy discipline integrated into your being and have healthy behaviors and healthy coping mechanisms? Would you like that? Yes, but beyond temporary short-term fixes, would you like an infinity healing to all the parts of our being, our psyche that are like holes in our souls? Would you like an infinity healing to fill those holes in our souls with source, God, universal energy? Would you like that? Yes, yes, yes. Would you like an infinity healing for your nervous system to be brought back into feeling safe, feeling grounded? So we're going to do the 3 S's: safety, security, healing any, survival. Would you like that? Which is really root chakra stuff, right? So being mindful of the content we're taking in. I'm going to do a video on this very soon, but MK Ultra, and we're going to get into it with the resources, is how to how to use the mind and destroy the psyche of a person. MK Ultra, I think it even started here in Canada. So mindful of the content you watch, because even that movie I recommended about pharmaceuticals, it has MK Ultra in it. It shows you scenes of pleasure and peace, and immediately goes into scenes of torment and torture. And almost every movie that I'm seeing and every TV show has this out. That's why I was like, why is Netflix showing a movie that's anti-pharmaceutical? But they trust me, when they're showing it, they have a reason and they're getting something out of it. And it has that MK Ultra. And MK Ultra, this aspect of it, I just want to ground in for us before going into the whole thing on another video, is when you're watching a movie or a TV show and they're showing you beautiful, positive scenes, and then immediately putting like dark, heavy, dense stuff, and they're going back and forth, that is a form of desensitization. I learned this in hypnosis and NLP 25 years ago. I used to use it positively. Someone would say, if they wanted to quit a bad habit, I'll be like, think of this bad habit, or think of something that's disgusting, and their finger would go up. And then, anyways, it's a whole technique on, like, let's say they want to quit smoking, and I was like, what's the most disgusting thing for you? And they're like, I don't know, like drinking mud or something. So I'd be like, think of smoking. Now think of drinking mud. Think of smoking. Think of drinking mud. So before we did that, their finger would go really high, meaning pleasure. And then the other finger was like disgust. And what we would do is like, think of smoking, think of drinking mud. Think of smoking, think of drinking mud. Think of smoking, think of drinking mud. And then it resensitizes or gets you to, because what media has done is, and again, this is a whole mind fuck, every cigarette smoking during movies and TV shows is very intentional. Make sure the hero, the badass woman, this scene when, they kick ass, and it's like, it's subliminally saying cigarettes equals confidence, equals empowerment, equals respect. And so with hypnosis and NLP, we're creating it what it is. It's something that's, at least the chemicals in it nowadays, not talking about sacred tobacco and how it originally was. So I've gone off on a tangent. Let's bring it back. So being mindful of what you're listening to and what you're watching. And what I do when I see those scenes is I close my eyes, because I'm saying, no, I do not want this MK Ultra. I don't want to see scenes where you're showing me pleasure, beautiful, peaceful scenes with like destruction sounds in the background, because what that basically does to you is, now if you see torture and war, you're going to be like smiling. That's the effect of it, and it's happening to us through TV shows. Like, I'm surprised Netflix isn't boycotted right now because of this information, and I will get it out. And we do need to vote with what we're spending. Our attention is the new currency, and we need to vote where we're giving our attention. So thank you for all of you who are here now, giving your attention to your inner child, healing your traumas, your whole ancestral lineage, and also what we're about to do in a few minutes, blessing it forward to the whole planet. So thank you for that. So would you like an infinity healing to activate? And we have one of our brothers later on, Vinolan, will be doing a powerful dragon activation, where literally you can imagine like this sheath around your body that protects you from 5G and other things. But would you like an infinity healing for spiritual warfare, to override those programs, to have the right tools, to use them in the right ways, to remember the truth of who you are? Remember that you are source, God, universe. You are infinite consciousness. There's nothing above you, nothing more powerful than you. No one has authority over you. Would you like an infinity healing to activate your infinite freedom, empowerment, and sovereignty? Yes. To remember the truth of who you are and have it as your default system? Yes. Would you like an infinity healing to always embody that infinite love that you are, and let it override any fear at any moment? Yes. Would you like an infinity healing to just fill our beings with infinite consciousness, fill our beings with infinite love? Imagine every cell in your body shining like the sun, radiating in all directions. The biggest secret that's been hidden from us is within us. It's right here. This is the biggest secret. If you're out there trying, like me, trying to find the truth, what was that show, X-Files? The truth is out there. No, that's another mind fuck. The truth is in here. So would you like an infinity healing to know the truth, be the truth, speak the truth, spread the truth, spread love, experience infinite discernment, being very intentional, and spreading this energy, the most powerful force, not just on this planet, not just in the universe, in the infinite. That's what we're made of. That's what they're afraid of. They know their time's up, and they're just trying to suck it out. It's like a narcissistic partner when you're like, I'm done, and they're just trying to suck out one more argument, a little more energy before you kick them out of the house. That's like the microcosm of what's happening. They're trying one more guilt trip. They're trying one more, trying to flip it. And we're like, no, get the fuck out. And let this energy spread into your auric field, your emotional body, mental body. Let this energy activate our light body, our rainbow light body. Let it spread into our whole entire energy field, bringing our beings back into the divine blueprint, and bringing our lives powerfully grounded into our ultimate timelines. In every moment, we are choosing to anchor into the ultimate timeline, into the divine path. We're focused, determined, and resilient. Letting this energy spread into the city that we're in, every crevice, every corner. Let it spread into our ancestral lineage, our future generations, blessing, well, I don't like the word bless, but like powerfully transmitting to all the original people of the lands that we're on, and also the elemental world and all the unseen forces that have good intentions, good hearts. Let it spread into all beings in the country that we're in, on the planet that we're in. And expand yourself so beyond this planet that the planet Earth is a cell in your body. And we give infinite permission to infinite beings of love and light that have our best intentions in their hearts to do infinite things for us, for our loved ones, for all beings on planet Earth. Would you like that? Yes. And to continue to do all that they know to do that is for our highest good. For every being on this planet to have all their needs met, for all our heart's desires to manifest, to be fulfilled on all levels. And see this love, this consciousness spread not just to Palestine, not just to Israel, not just to the people there. Well, let's start there because there's a very powerful portal there that affects the rest of planet Earth. So let us invite infinite consciousness, source, God, universe to alchemize any less than love energies, intentions, technologies, make them null and void, and only allow love and what is best to spread into these ley lines, into these the earth chakras of the planet, these powerful, the energy grid of planet Earth. Let it all be override the fear programs, override the negative technologies, and on top of it, on all levels, starting with the etheric, energetic, to the physical, bringing it back to anchor in these new earth codes, anchor in the love codes, the divine codes for us, for all Earth's inhabitants. And letting it spread love throughout the planet to every being. And something about this Loosh, if you guys haven't heard about Loosh, definitely research it. I think it was Robert Monroe's information from his hypnosis sessions that he channeled from his clients, I believe. Definitely recommend researching that. And this Loosh is basically what it's all about, guys, on a deep spiritual warfare level. It's how can we, and then watch movies like Jupiter Ascending, Matrix. How can we override, if we know that the currency of the dark forces is our heartbreak and our anger and rage and lack of forgiveness, how can we let love reign supreme on our planet? How can we love forgiveness, like healthy forgiveness, true forgiveness, reign on our planet so that we're not feeding the world of fear, but we're fueling the world of love? Would you like that? And I'm seeing it right now. People are standing up. So heartwarming to see people go on social media and go, you know what? I've got millions of followers and I know they're going to cancel me, but I'm going to speak my truth. And they have nothing to do, like in their, We have nothing to do with the people there. That's love in action. So let's bring it back to ourselves and remember who we are, and have that divine intuition communicate to us what are we feeling guided to be, what are we feeling guided to do, if anything. If it's nothing, that's totally fine. Your beingness is more than enough. If you're feeling guided to do anything, your heart, your intuition can guide you to knowing what that is. And it's sometimes it's those small acts with lots of love that make the change. But we each play our part. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, Source, God, Universe, we ask that you include into this prayer, this invocation, these intentions more than what we know to ask for, so that this or something greater will happen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. And so it is. All right, my beautiful friends, I will pass the torch, pass the mic, pass the talking stick to our next amazing guest, Daniel Hanneman, my first Leo mentor that changed my life. Whenever you guys hear me share the story of how I went from broke to hitting 10,000 in 10 months, it's all thanks to our fellow soul brother, Daniel Hanneman. I don't know if I have bios for every one of you. Forgive me if we've missed any, but what I have here right now is Daniel Hanneman is the CEO and founder of Your Sacred Purpose. And he is here to guide and help you feel safe to be you and come to the realization that being simply you is the answer that the world has been waiting for all along. I love that, brother. And thank you for being here. We've got, I believe, 15 minutes, and he's going to be doing some powerful channelings from Jesus channeling. So, Daniel Hanneman, thank you for being with us, brother. I appreciate you. Sorry, Daniel, 1 second. Try talking now. There's something staticky. No problem. I'm muting you, so we're not hearing the static. Is it possible without the Daniel? If you feel if you remove the headphones, would it stop the static? What do you feel we can do? Let's try. Let me know when you're ready. I'll unmute.
Hear me okay now?
Loud and clear, brother.
Okay, I thought the headset might work better, but okay, here we go.
Yes, less is more, bro.
All right, awesome.
Please take it away, brother.
To be here. Yeah, thanks for doing this. This is just amazing that Tarek's put this together on this day. The essential truth is, guys, just what everything he was just saying, everything he was just sharing, Tarek, that we are being, guided back into the substance of from which we've come, and to remember who we are, that inner child, that inner play that's within side of ourselves, that is the source itself that's always wanted to be exuberant, wants to play, wants to share its inner child with the world and be all you want to be all of who you are, and that it's all magic. It's all well, it is all the light of God unfolding. And how can we deal with a world that's seems so triggering to so many of us that are empathic, etc.? We've experienced a lot of traumas through our past lives and this life. How can we move through those things? I am going to do some channelings, but just real quick, I mean, the most basic things. One of the things I loved that Tarek was just doing was all the thank yous. Anything that triggers you, if you can just continue to just give thanks for it, it's one of the great clearing mechanisms we have. I was just triggered recently by something. It was nothing horrible. It's just a comment somebody made. And the faster we can just keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I've embraced it. Now it doesn't have to continue to haunt me constantly, right? So whether it's a micro thing or a major thing that's happened that keeps coming back, there's always the deeper healing that needs to happen there. But there's so much just by saying thank you. So today I am going to channel Jesus for a short while today and see what Jesus has to share. I just want to say, Jesus, I'm channeling the energy of Jesus. Jesus is bringing the love. He is bringing the sense of expansion of who you really are. And in these times, the number one path to fully awakening and breaking free of the matrix and all the sense of controls and what's being done to us is to come back home, to come back home fully within ourselves. We have the power, number one. Okay, number one, number two, number three, and all. Okay, we have the power. Okay, the power's not out there. We're giving into that illusion too much, and we can be the sense of re-traumatized forever that way. So when we realize we are the power, it is the number one way to start healing, in my opinion. Okay, so I wanted to help you with that through a transmission from Jesus today. So if you'll just get centered with me, I'm going to do some vocal toning to get started, and then Jesus will just come out and play, and we'll go from there. And this is something I've been doing for a long time, and increasingly so right now I'm starting to share this more with the world going forward. So I'm delighted to do this. Here we go. Come back home to the essential love. Radiates in your heart. Know the sense of being done wrong or being neglected, being harmed. To come back home into your heart now. To realize the real truth. That you're loved. That everyone on your path is here as a pathway for love. No matter what role they're playing, they're on a pathway to serve love. Realize my love that lives within your heart. My transmission is a beacon of love for you to come back home. From this space, your life is simplified. Loving yourself, loving your brothers and sisters. Gathering circles of love in your life as you allow it. Connect your heart to the heart of all and each and every being throughout your days. Watch new wonders come to pass in your life. New healing miracles in your connections with your brothers and sisters, with the planet, and more. Know the essential state of all can be transmuted quickly. Your waterways, your air, your ground, all brought back to wholeness, quickly, joyfully, that you are safe, you are protected. Call upon the protection of the light within in all its forms, knowing the essential presence that you are is the safety you looking for in the first place. That there's a ground forming within your being right now, a ground of strength, wholeness, wellness. May the gentle stream of your soul flow through any sense of wounding in your life, reminding you of the love that flows eternally. The barking dogs of the mind are just there to remind you of the love that you are. As you submit yourself to the love that you are and the love each person is presenting you with the opportunity to embrace, it is the master pathway of enlightenment and transformation and healing in your life. What may appear to be weakness is your ultimate strength to submit to the power of this love, this loving presence. Let others have the sense of being right, and you come back to love, loving it all the perspectives that are going into your own mind and therefore are reflected in your world. To come back to the love. To play as the infinite children of source that you are. To create what would light you up. To create together with your brothers and sisters from this infinite space of love, of heaven on earth. That the most profound riches and abundance live within you in your hearts right now. Radiate through every cell, fiber, molecule, fiber of your being. Reminding you of the true innocence that you're connected with in every moment, that you cannot be touched. And there's that space within you that has never been touched by the sense of trauma. Come back home to this truth. Transmute the sense of darkness into a greater expression of love that it wants to serve. By acknowledging it, by listening deeply, by submitting to it, to loving grace within your heart, to whatever's unfolding in your life, the sense of your past, or even the sense of your future. Come back to this love. Open to the wonders of the miracles of your heart and the presence that it's connected to, that makes all things become simplified and provides you with grace and ease on this path. Know the sense of destructiveness in the world and in your life are all breadcrumbs to a greater unfoldment for your soul to realize just how expanded and amazing you are today and always. Remember this truth now and forever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, brother, so much. I appreciate it. That was very powerful and simple words and full resonance. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on today. Thank you. I'm honored. Always great to be with you, Tarek. Thank you so much for your loving heart to create this space here today.
You're very welcome. You're always welcome, Daniel. So if people want to follow you, brother, just type in your name on social media, Daniel Hanneman.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just saying if they want to follow you, they can just type in your name, right? Daniel, it's on the screen, Daniel Hanneman.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah,
Right?
just look me up. I'm always
Yeah.
happy to share a message with you. Yes.
Thank you, brother. Much love. Thank you for being here. Forever grateful for you. I really appreciate you.
Likewise, Tarek. Okay, lots of love. Bye
Keep
for now.
shining, my friend. Bye. Wow, let's all send Daniel Hanneman some loving energies. You know, that's our currency right now. We're not paying all the speakers, they're all volunteering the time and energy. So let's send them a prayer, send them a blessing. Yeah, thank you. How did that feel for you guys? What stuck out for you? What were your takeaways before we introduce our next speaker, Sabrina? Sabrina helps people heal from toxic relationships and embraces their wisdom story. Through somatic and subconscious healing, they're finally able to reclaim their power and boundaries. She has gone through this journey herself after an abusive relationship, and she started to heal by asking, why am I attracting these relationships into my life? The power of questions, guys. I then began to learn about my own traumas and wounding, and that my toxic partners were people meant to trigger my own healing. It's another great question. What is this mirroring for me? Through this journey, I trained extensively in hypnosis, somatic therapy, trauma resolution. I believe that once we embrace the lessons and wisdom, we create the safety needed for healthy love. Her approach is informed by deep intuition and gentle space holding for everyone's own wisdom to emerge. She's a board certified clinical hypnotist, holistic life coach certified by the Global Association of Holistic Psychotherapists, and also trained in rapid resolution therapy. Use my extensive toolkit to guide clients into the deepest parts of themselves to reprocess and heal trauma. Without further ado, I present to you Sabrina. Thank you so much for being here. Let me add you to the screen here. There
Hi,
we go.
everyone. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
please take it away, sister. Thanks for being
Yes.
here.
Thanks, everyone. So I just want to start with just coming into presence with where we are now. We were in a lot of deep meditations. So I really believe that being in the body is the way to healing, and trauma disassociates us from the body. So let's take a moment to feel our bodies, our feet on the floor. Can you feel your left foot and your right foot? Can you feel your seat on your chair? And just notice where your hands are. If they're on your lap, do you feel a warmth from your hands? Good. Just breathing into this moment now. And we're switching from meditation mind to listening ears. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. So as I said, trauma survivors lose their ability to do things like these check-ins. And they lose their ability to know where they end and other people begin. That's what a boundary is. Where do I end and where does somebody else begin? And that's because trauma causes disassociation. Disassociation is a word that means a disconnect between the body and our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our sense of identity. So it's the way the system, our system, protects itself during trauma. Trauma is often defined as too much too soon. It's not what actually happened to us, it's our body's capacity to have handled it. Too much for the body too soon. So we leave the body, we disassociate, and our body's like, this is the way to keep you safe. It's too much for you to handle. So it's almost like being in a freeze state. You might have seen animals in the wild, like deers, they freeze up. That's a trauma response, and that's a sort of dissociation from what's actually going on. And then when the predator leaves, the animal comes out of that state and they start to shake, they become active again, and they leave. I recently learned a term called pronging, which is what deers do. When they are no longer in that trauma-free state, they jump around. They almost jump for joy. They become alive again. I think that's so beautiful to go out of the the contracted trauma to like, I'm alive. And that's the work I want to do with you is like, let's get back to that. I'm alive. I'm joyful. I'm happy. I'm here. So I'm going to ask you some questions now and just see if any of them resonate with who you are or who you were in any level. So do you ever struggle with saying no, even when you really want to? Like, you know that this is a no for you, but there's parts of you that are like, oh, this person needs me, or I really feel like I'm obligated, or they're going to not like me anymore. So do you struggle with saying no? And do you have a hard time making decisions? So if there's multiple options, do you kind of freeze? Do you procrastinate instead of going, this is what I'm going to do today? This is what I need to be asking for? And do you feel like sometimes you give more in relationships than you're receiving? And that feels normal for you? Like you're always constantly saying, what can I do? What does this person need? You're outside focused. And your sense of value comes from what you can give other people. And only later on, when you start to feel like sense of resentment, you're like, oh, wow, I'm not getting an equal sense of energy back. I'm not receiving equally. But at that point, it's been so long that's the pattern within the relationship. And you sometimes feel like other people's behavior is unacceptable. It goes on so long that it's almost too late to bring it up, it feels like. And once you start noticing it, it just becomes this internalized dissatisfaction within you. And you just keep letting it grow and grow. And sometimes people just blow up one day and other people are like, whoa, where did that come from? It's because they've had a feeling of something they didn't like and they just let it build up instead of talking about it early, which is where we want to get to. As trauma survivors, we sometimes don't feel safe being vulnerable, bringing things up, because our whole goal is to create safety within ourselves now, right? We've already felt unsafe. So bringing up somebody's unacceptable behavior feels unsafe because what if they get angry? What if they go into a rage? What if they leave me and I feel abandoned? So a lot of our learned behaviors is because of wanting to create safety. And it's okay if you answered yes to these questions, because boundaries are hard for everybody, not just trauma survivors. Boundary work is an ongoing unlearning, relearning for every human on this planet, because we're all here to reclaim our power, our identity, who we are, who we came here to be. And we were kind of conditioned as we came in to slowly break our boundaries through like the education system. Sit down for this many hours a day, hug your uncle even if you don't want to. There's so many ways that our internal knowing, our internal desires have been overridden for years and years. So boundary work is for everybody. So if you answered no to any of these or yes to any of these, just know that you're totally normal and everything can be worked on. So I really believe that somatic practice is one of the big keys to really defining and reclaiming our boundaries. And I want to take a few minutes to teach you one of the ones that have been really helpful for me that's very quick as well. So our skin is our first sense of boundary. It's our internal boundary to our body, right? So that makes sense for everyone. You can touch your skin. You know who you want to touch your skin, how close you want somebody to come to you. So if you think of our skin as our boundary, let's get in touch with this boundary. So if you just want to touch yourself and say, this is my body. You can touch your face. This is my body. This is my body. And as you do this, you might notice that you start to soften your breath. This is my body. This is my body. Just start saying that. This is a fundamental grounding tool in things like somatic experiencing, really reconnecting to the body. This is my body. And if you gently squeeze, you really start to become more aware of where you start and where others begin. And then you can start building. I know where I start and where I begin, and I know that I don't want you to come within 2 feet of me. This doesn't feel good. I notice that my body starts to feel anxious. It starts to constrict or tighten up. This is my body telling me that I have a boundary with you and I'd like for you to stay this far away. That's why it's so important to reconnect with our physical boundary first. So now we're back to listening mode. When we think of our boundaries as our skin, internal, let's think of boundaries beyond that, external. We can think of boundaries like our home or our apartment. The walls around our home are the boundaries of our home. It tells us and everyone outside, our neighbors, the city, the world, what belongs to us and what belongs to them. All this furniture is mine. It belongs to me. The sidewalk is the city's, the fence is the neighbor's. It's very clear. These are defined boundaries, right? They're solid. So if a neighbor came into my front door right now, or if they peeked in my window, that would be alarming. That would be very clearly a boundary violation, right? So those boundaries are very clear. It's the same thing with our sense of with our skin. And we want to also recognize that there's an energetic boundary, like what I mentioned in terms of somebody standing 2 feet away feels safe, that's energetic. And there's also interpersonal boundaries. So if the neighbor came in and said, you know, your walls are white, I think they should be blue. And I think you should move this couch over here. And I think you're cooking wrong. Those are all like, that's not something that we would find acceptable, right? That's somebody breaking our boundary, giving us feedback that we didn't ask for, telling us what we want, what they want to change. So if you think of our, coming back to the analogy of the home being our boundaries, we want to also remember that the home is not a cage. We can choose to open our door and let somebody in, take the garbage out. We can choose to open a window, open a curtain. These are all ways that the boundary of the home become flexible, right? So when the boundary of the home is flexible, it's because we have a sense of safety within the home. I'm only going to open my window and open my curtain if I feel that I feel safe in my home and it's a time of day that I feel like I'm safe in my neighborhood. Strange people won't be looking in or trying to come in. I'll open my front door on a hot day if I feel like, again, this is a safe time of the day. This is a safe neighborhood. So our boundaries within our home are flexible depending on how we feel and the conditions around us. Boundaries are flexible all the time, internally, energetically, in the same way. And it depends on our capacity. Capacity is another term for how our nervous system relates to everything around us. So our nervous system isn't meant to always feel baseline safe. It's supposed to kind of give us signals. Fear and anxiety, for example, contraction is a signal that our boundary might need to be looked at. So maybe I need to close my window, right? The same way, maybe I need to change my boundary with somebody because in that moment, things have changed and I don't feel like I have the capacity for the same level of interaction, for example. Let's use the example of a party. So sometimes I go to a party and I feel like there's so many new people, there's so much new energy around. Everyone's very activated, right? They're excited, they're happy. A lot of people want to hug me. And I have started to practice checking in with myself. In the past, I would have just opened up and hugged everybody, and I would have felt a little bit of contraction with some people. I would have felt a sense of depletion, and I would still break my own boundary and keep hugging them. But now I'm practicing checking in with myself. And sometimes I actually tell people I'm not available for hugs right now. And that's me honoring my own energetic and physical boundary. So that's a level of attunement we want to get to because in the past, we might have grown up with our boundaries being trained out of us, right? So the work of adulthood is to recognize, where am I? Where do I end? Where do other people begin? And what is acceptable for me in this time space? As a side note, being a trauma-informed person on this planet also means asking for consent before you touch people or hug them, because we don't know what kind of traumatic history they have. A hug might feel overwhelming to some nervous systems. A touch that's unsolicited might feel reactivating for somebody with PTSD. So we always want to ask, are you open to sharing a hug? And letting them respond and not being offended if they say no. It's them honoring themselves, right? I have a friend who offers me 3 options. She says, do you want a hug? Do you want a fist bump? Or do you want to just acknowledge me? And I so appreciate that attunement to seeing where I'm at on a specific day. And because of her attunement to me and her respect for me, I have grown my capacity for her nervous system to feel safe with mine. And now I'm open to hugging her all the time. So this is how we build interdependent safety with each other's nervous system in a trauma-informed way. I'm just going to get a sip of water. So feel free to leave a comment in the chat if you have any questions about what I'm saying. I'd love to hear from you. So trauma puts us in survival mode and really affects our ability to set healthy boundaries. In the midst of a traumatic experience, we're just focused on surviving. And when it happens to us as a child, in early childhood trauma, it can really affect our ability to feel safe and trust because we weren't protected, we weren't safe. And a child's inherent right is to feel safe and protected. It's not something they should be thinking about. They should just be given it. It should be the inherent environment around them. So when that isn't there, the child's sense of self becomes extremely disassociated, and we start to grow up feeling unsafe in the world and unprotected. And then we become contracted, become fearful, we could become in survival mode. We're doing the bare minimum to survive. And then we get things like social anxiety. We get things like self-isolating because it feels safer to isolate instead of connecting to new nervous systems, new people, and putting ourselves at risk. That's what people who have disorders like agoraphobia, they need to always stay at home. That's kind of the root cause of those kind of traumas. So we're not meant to live in social isolation. Our nervous systems can expand into safety with safe people. So let's all endeavor to be safe people for everyone. And that means respecting everybody's nervous system and respecting our own capacity. So again, reconnecting with ourselves and asking for what we want and what we're ready for and what we desire. So I'm exposing, so when I'm hugging somebody, I'm exposing myself vulnerably. I'm exposing the front part of my body, which is my abdomen and my heart. Those are the most vulnerable parts of any mammal. So if you're like me and you have some resistance to hugging sometimes, know that this can be a trauma response and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just about rebuilding safety within the body and safety with people that you can slowly start to attune to and realize that touch and vulnerability is safe. So how do you get over this? Have compassion for yourself and try to do some inner child work here, because it's the inner child that was unprotected and didn't feel safe, and they're informing your behavior as an adult. And we really want to switch that and start informing the child that, hey, you're safe now. I got you. You're protected. So I recently started rethinking inner child healing into inner child empowerment. I want to give my inner child a sword. And I want to let them know that I'm going to say no for them and stand up for them for every single time that they didn't get that. That is the work that we're doing now as adults. We're standing up and we're saying no for that inner child that never got that privilege. This is how we start to heal these patterns. So saying no, when trauma happens to us, especially as kids, we have that right taken away. We have the right to say no taken away. So, and we also don't get to consent to the terrible things that happen to us. We didn't get to say no to the terrible things that happened to us throughout our lives. It happened to us. It just happened without our consent. So we lose our ability to say no. It gets conditioned out of us. We just have to accept all these things that other people do. Their needs come first. Their desires come first. We have to accommodate people. We have to make them feel comfortable. That's where the root of people pleasing is. People pleasing is a trauma response. So if you go really deep and we really heal the pattern of people pleasing, every single time I have found that it is a trauma response to feel safe, often started in childhood. So we have to remember that we're not in our childhood anymore. We're adults. And so when somebody pushes you, crosses your boundary, you are allowed to say no. You are defending your inner child every time you say no. You're honoring yourself. You're becoming the best version of yourself, the highest version, the version that you're meant to be every time you stand up for yourself. And trauma obscures this right, because if you weren't respected when you were traumatized, you lose your internal sense of self-respect, and it becomes easier for people to re-victimize you when you do not have an internal sense of self-respect. That's when you have stories like, everywhere I go, I see bullies, I see narcissists, I see people that harm me. It's because there are people like that that are attuning to people who don't have self-power and self-respect. And if you are one of those people, you might find yourself in patterns of being re-victimized. That's why this work is so important to do, to build up the inner power and inner strength of who you are and who you came here to be. And the first step to do this is, again, looking at your pattern of people pleasing. This is a very common pattern. It's really easy to start catching and start recognizing, hey, I don't like myself when I people please. I feel depleted. So how do you solve this? You go slow. All healing that's effective goes slow and with the safety of your nervous system. So if there's somebody that you know in your life, like even if it's one person that you can start practicing boundaries with, start practicing saying no with, you can ask them, hey, I'm working on setting boundaries. Is it okay if I am messy sometimes when I practice this with you? I'm going to start practicing saying no sometimes when you ask me for help, or if I feel like I need to leave, if I'm tired and I need you to know that it might not be perfect. Are you willing to be my partner in my healing here? That's just a really powerful thing to ask somebody, and you'll be surprised how many people might be there for you to say yes, give you the grace to be a supporter in your own healing. With my clients, we have sessions where you just practice saying no back and forth, because even the word no feels uncomfortable to the nervous system sometimes if you've been conditioned your whole life to not say no. So really practice saying no. It's like a muscle. The more you say no, the stronger it gets. I have a friend who's really empowered in her boundaries, and she inspires me. On Friday, we were at a show, and she told me, I'm feeling tired. I'm going to leave in the middle of the show. And I celebrated that. I'm like, wow, she really is attuned to herself, her needs, and she's honoring her own capacity, her own boundaries. She's not breaking her boundaries and exhausting and depleting herself. That's the level of self-care and self-love that's available to us when we start reconnecting to ourselves and holding our own boundaries. So, excuse me, people pleasing is a big pattern for trauma survivors. You go along to get along. If you lived through a nightmare, the last thing you want to do is live through another nightmare. So we always try to help everybody, please everybody, be the helpful person in the room, have a role within the group that makes us feel important and needed. We never try to shake the boat, rock the boat, or cause a conflict that could disable our ability to be part of a strong, safe network. But we have to realize that when we lose our sense of self, we also lose our identity, and we no longer are actually our true selves around these people. And we also lose our ability to identify our own needs. And so we become these kind of shells of ourselves. Our potential is lost. This can happen in even small, insidious ways. So, for example, 20 years ago, I had no idea what my needs and desires were. I was just going along with whatever people wanted. I would say, whatever you want to do. And I was so unattuned to my needs that I got into relationships just because other people wanted to be in relationships with me. And that never ends well. I would go to restaurants and I had no idea what to order on the menu. I'd almost be frozen with all these choices. And I would have to ask people around me, like, what should I get? I'd ask the waiter, what do you recommend? What should I get? I had no idea what was best for me or my body or myself. That's how disconnected I was from my wants and desires. And I don't do this anymore. I healed. And so the steps are, again, reconnecting to the body, starting to end your people-pleasing patterns by starting to identify with what your true wants and desires are, starting to say no, and starting to ask for what you really want. You'll be surprised how people start responding, and you'll be surprised by the quality of people that respond positively. These are the people that are your cheerleaders. These are the people that are in your corner, the people that are going to help you grow and become the person you were meant to be. When we do this internal work, we build our capacity for joy, for pleasure, for expansion, because we're not in this frozen, contracted state all the time. right? Where we're not in the survival mode, this just trying to get by, trying to hide our light, to just get along with everybody. We become safe to ourselves and to other people, and we expand our systems to hold more in this world, more safety, more pleasure, more joy, more loving relationships, more quality friendships, more delightful opportunities. So this is why we do this work, to become our truest, wisest version of ourselves. I think I have a few minutes, so I wanted to run through one more practice that's a very powerful one that we can all do together. So this is called my favorite self. And I want you to think about who your favorite self version would be. Not your higher self, not your best self, your favorite self. Is this favorite self somebody who's walking into rooms really confident, making eye contact with people? Is this person asking for what they want? Are they saying no? Are they setting healthy boundaries? Are they really joyful and in their pleasure and expansion because they have so much internal energy because they're not leaking it out everywhere? What's your favorite version of you look like? And if you're open to closing your eyes and just walking with me on a 5-minute journey with this, who is your favorite version of you? What do they look like? How are they standing? What are they wearing? Good. And now think of this favorite version of you approaching a situation that you yourself are experiencing that might be causing you some contraction or anxiety or guilt. Something that you wish was a bit different. Wish you had set a boundary early or set a boundary now, but it feels hard. See this favorite version of you responding. What would they have done? What kind of conversation are they having? And if you feel any of those contraction feelings come up, just remember that this is your favorite self handling the situation and just noticing what they do. How do they stand? What do they say? Speaking up for what they really want, what you really need. And just noticing the people involved. How do they respond to this version of you that is respected, that is confident, that is empowered, that is clearly communicating, making eye contact? Good. They're responding to this new version of you with this old situation in a different way. This favorite self is possible. It's a few steps away from where you are, and our favorite self is continually evolving as we step into the version of the favorite self that we have. The new one emerges, and that's how we grow and expand in this world. We become our favorite self, our future self. So in the future, when you are experiencing a boundary that you need to set with somebody, think of what your favorite self would do. You might go through this exercise visually. Journaling it is a really good way to create it physically in the world and really see what's possible. And again, you want to see that people responding to the favorite version of you. So their response is going to be different because they're not responding to the version of you now. They're responding to the bigger, brighter, empowered, safer, happier, joyful, confident version of you. It deserves respect, deserves to be heard. So this is a really cool exercise that really shifts a lot of people in a lot of situations, and I hope it's helpful for you. If you'd like to get in touch with me or need any other guidance, I do offer free consultations on my website. You can book with me at sabrinasundari.com. So thanks, everybody, and thank you, Tarek.
Beautiful, Sabrina. Thank you so much for that very grounded advice in boundary setting. So core, so important, and all the different dimensions of it. You're amazing. Thank Thanks for taking the time to bless us with
Thank
this
you.
information. All right. See you next time. Appreciate you. All right. So let's all just send Sabrina some love, some gratitude. You can't see my hands because of this background thing, but yeah, sending love, sending gratitude. And let us welcome our next guest. So Shannon Brown is a spiritual coach, plant medicine and psychedelic guide, visionary artist, sound and art therapist, and transformational retreats facilitator. With over 25 years designing and facilitating arts and healing experiences, programming, and ceremonies, including workshops at a treatment center, Heritage Treatment Foundation, Psychedelic Association of Canada, the AGO, Agnes Art Center, School of Medicine, Queen's University. She brings her passion and substantial skills to the realm of personal and collective wellness. Shannon combines multiple creative modalities in her healing arts practice, including sound therapy, expressive arts, shamanic healing, ritual, dream work, mindfulness, Reiki, and is a lifelong yogi, musician, and dancer. A former award-winning documentary film producer, Shannon films have been broadcast in over 25 countries. Her visionary art hangs in homes around the world. Shannon, I did not know about those other superpowers that you had. And I'm not seeing you here, so let me see if I can nudge you. By the way, I forgot to mention 2 documentaries. Oh, there she is. That I will share I'll share them right now while Shannon's getting ready. So 100%, if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend checking it out. It's called The Wisdom of Trauma. Another fellow Canadian, Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate, I believe. The Wisdom of Trauma. Definitely watch that movie. Very, very powerful. Dr. Gabor Mate. And then also, if you really want to go deep, and I highly recommend a movie called Trance by Kathy O'Brien. Very, very, very insightful. Okay, Shannon, I just did a big welcoming. You look great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Thank
please
you.
take it away.
Just want to make sure you can hear me, Tarek.
Loud and clear.
Okay, fabulous. It's so wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for doing this incredible work, Tarek, and for all of the guests that are here today. Oh, I'm just so honored to be here and to share this medicine with you. I am a sound therapist and a healer, and sound really is such a powerful methodology for allowing us to really deeply relax. And when our nervous systems are dysregulated, when we're feeling overwhelmed, really the best thing for us to do is just to take a moment to take a breath, to ground ourselves into the earth, to put our roots down, and to just be in the moment. And I know that can be challenging sometimes, so I'm here to offer you this experience of relaxation and of sound frequencies, the frequencies of love, the frequencies of healing, and the frequencies of peace. So with this, I encourage you to think of an intention for this experience. That intention could be for yourself, it could be for the planet, it could be for the universe. But really tune into that intention, and you could say to yourself, I am here too. And then just fill in that blank. I am here too. And when we combine that intention with sound, it becomes this force that really can radiate. So get yourself into a comfortable position, feet on the floor if you're in a chair, or if you can find a place to lay down. I encourage you to have a good sound system, either a speaker or headset, and really relax and take a deep breath in. Let's do that together. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. May this healing sound go where it needs to go. May beauty surround you. May beauty be within you. And may love be in your heart.
Shannon, Shannon, Shannon. Oh my goddess. Wow. Shannon, honestly, you are a legend. And reading your bio, I was like, I only got a fraction of how awesome this human being is. And thank you so much for taking the time to set up your sound alchemy and sharing it with us. And would love to have you another time and have you for longer. And thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Appreciate you.
You're so welcome. It's such a pleasure. I believe we were meant to meet in Playa for a reason. I
100%.
love you, my brother, and
Thank you.
please let's stay in touch.
Will do. And Shannon, if folks want to reach out to you, it's Shannon Brown on social media.
They can find me on Instagram at visionary_Shannon. I have a website, shannonbrownhealingarts.ca.
Got it.
So please do reach out.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Bless your heart. Connect soon.
All right. Talk soon. Bye, brother.
All right. Much love. Wow. Just let that soak in. And I mean, trauma. What's more powerful than healing your nervous system and your psyche with sound alchemy? Thank you so much, Shannon. So our next guest is Vinolan. He's my go-to whenever I feel I picked up some weird attachments from events, from people who are not maybe it's conscious or unconscious, or carrying some extra energies or entities. So what I love about this brother is he's just like that true warrior, like not afraid of the darkness, does what he needs to get done, does it really fast, and keeps it moving. What a solid human being. So Vin Dragonheart is a multidimensional facilitator and holder of space. In the early 2000s, he was initiated into the Usui Tibetan method of Reiki. With his growing interest in spirituality, he expanded his tool set to include EFT, grace healing, infinity healing, light language, and holographic principles. He currently works with his team of divine workers that includes his soul aspects, dragons, and crowns, to name a few, to clear detrimental energies as well as bring in appropriate light body upgrades. Vin is also the custodian of the dragon armor, a spiritual technology that forms a layer of dragon skin around a person when activated. The armor was channeled through from his oversoul. It has the ability to generate frequency fields around the wielder or any other person as directed. Frequencies includes the healing solfeggio frequencies as well as other frequencies to embody different states of consciousness. Vin's passion is to clear traumas, to allow more love to shine through from within. He's regular on TikTok under the handle at Vin_Dragonheart, where he does many free mini healings to assist as meant and as appropriate. Vin Dragonheart, thank you so much for being here, brother. Please take it away. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Tariq, and thank you to Shannon. That was amazing. Totally amazing. So yeah, thank you for having me. Let's get to the clearing. So as you mentioned, Tariq, what I do is I clear traumas, and one of the ways that I do it is using light language. So we'll bring in some light language today as well. So for everyone on the call, and if there's going to be a recording as well, I'm just going to invite you to just take a deep breath in and close your eyes and relax. And exhale. As we connect you now to Source Above, and bringing the light from Source all the way into the top of your head, going down your neck, going down your shoulders, filling up your lungs, your torso, your belly, going all the way down, out your legs, and extending your roots all the way to Gaia, connecting to her, grounding. As we now bring that energy from Gaia all the way back up through your feet, up your spine, filling up your torso, your lungs, your arms, your neck, your head. As we send that energy back up to Source, and bring your awareness to your heart space now. And connecting to the energy of your own source fractal, the true essence of who you are. And we're just going to call that forward to expand the love from there into the rest of your body, your aura, the room that you're in, your home, and extend that all the way into the edges of reality, connecting to all that is now. We now activate the dragon egg around your auric field. And this is going to form a shielding around you to block out any external frequencies and energies. And now we're going to clear the effects of any detrimental external energies that's directed towards you. Isitleko shuturuena katarloko surwariera katatarkurwariela kratish. Murguruya tarlakoro surwariela kishitarlako utsurwariela karanakarwaria. Talakroto surwariela kishitarlako unsurwariera. Marataro utsurwariera tatalakro surwari. Tatalakotorunish talakroto surwar. Itulokro surwariela kanashtor utsurwaria. I'm going to clear any detrimental energies from you towards yourself. Ina kurusutur lakishiter lakurusuru la karanatur lukur la karanat. Turlukurusuru la kishater lakuruntur la karana shutur wasik. Talakurutsur lukur la karana sutur lokit sheter lakurwa. Itulukurusuru la kishater lakurutur lokit sikatar lakurutur warchikat. Jalakotur watsikete sheter lakurunsur wargi. Maralokurwa sikar lakurusur Itolokoro surwari leshitalako unsurwari talakoro surwari teshitilako uturun surwari maratana koturulukruya lakratsar kurwa. So now focusing on your body, we're going to clear any radiation and EMF effects. Sikilikor surwari lekishitelakor usurwari la tataranakor usuruna shatalak uturun sakiti shatara utulokor surwari la ketarlakor usurwari la karana shatalak usurwa itulokor sulokor yela karana turun surwari la karada shutur gilokor surwari la getalakor usurwari kana shuturun surwa ye kara shatalak usurwa baro uturlokor usurwa yela karana sur marana harato usurwa kish karato usurwari shatalak unshuwa. And take a deep breath in. Relax even further. As you now call forth any and all detrimental agreements and contracts from any and all beings who are responsible for any physical, mental, and emotional traumas experienced and traumas perpetuated. So calling them forth in front of you. We're now going to clear that for you. Sanakulukuru yeleki shetarlukuruna satarlaka itsikit. Itulukurusur warileke shetarlakuru or warila krada. Dinakti ilekiti shitalakuturlo itsikitera. Itelekulukun seleki lakrun turwa hilaki chikurlukurwa. Calling forth all backup brigades. Seteleki chikurlokuri leki chiklakurun surwarileki shitalakuru narka telekarata tor warga. Clearing any reinstatement clauses. Siki shiktulukuru surwari leki shitalakuru surwari leki moruatsarga. Itulukurun surwari leki shitalakuru surwaria. Itatalakurun surwari leki shatarlakurwa. Clearing any counterparty copies and any other agreements hidden. Salakuru surwari shitalakuru surwari tishitalak itsikuru. Itilikurun surwari leki shitalakuru surwari. Itilikurun surwari leki shitalakuru waria. Italakurun surwari leki shitalakutur mansar. Italakur urwari leki shitara atsarala. Marul lukurwa nasa talakarana kurwa sik. Kalakuru surwari leki shitalakun surwari nakara. So clearing any memory loops, any mental loops, any consistent trauma loops. Sikala kro surwari, shitala kro surwari, lekana kro surwari, leki shitala kro murwari la. Itili kro surwari, leki shitala kro surwari la na karana kurwa. Itulu kro surwari, leki shitala kro surwari la tarlo kurwa. Itulu kro surwana shitala kro uturwan sar. Itili kro surwari, leki shitili kro surwari. Talakro torro atsaka talakana kurwa. Ikulu kro surla ki shitala itsikla kurunturwaria. Tanatsu urolak itilak urun salak. Itelek itshitalakurun surwaye lakrutur onsar. Itulukurun surwari lakranasar arlakroshu. Calling forth your timeline forward now. And clearing any traumas from now all the way to birth. Siklukurun surwari laki shitarlakurun surwari laki tsikroto surwa. Iteleki chistarlo utsurwari tishitarlakurun surwa. Manashatalaka tsalakurun surwari. Itulukurun surwari laki shitarlakurun surwari tishitar. Ikelekurun surwari la halakra urwara. Mara uturlokun surwari laki shitarlakur. Dialakur utsurwari de talakur utsurwari tishitarlakur utsur. Italakur turwa tsikatalakur nusuturwari laki shitarlakur war. Marantan anashana nakudo ida matalako turlo utsurwaria talakuru turwai kilek shuturu sil maralakuru tsurwaria sekatalaku turuan marak uruto shuturwai karana tana huru shuturwanaka. So connecting to your muscles, connecting to your organs, connecting to all spaces in your body where trauma may be stored. Iksilekro utsur urluk itsikelekeru utur warriere chitalakro sikalakro warriela kitsilakro warriela kranosur warria lifting and clearing salakro utsur warriele kishitalakro surwa itikilekro utsur manashatalakro surwarki ipolokro warriele kishitalakro sur warriele kishatalakro turwa ana uturlok utsur yetishtalakreatar italakro utsur warriela kranaso utur washitike morwarkia itilokro utsur warrie kelakro utur warki itiluk ruashutuluk unsurwaye tanakuruto urwar kichiat la kurwar ansara tanakuruto la itikitishita la kurwar ki mana urwashital yala uturwaria. Connecting now to your DNA to lift and clear any trauma passed on from your ancestry. Sikilikur usurwarie leki shitalak utsurwarie leki setalak unsurwarie leki data la kurutsurwaria. Ituluk usurwar hiatar urulaki setalak utsurmorgia. Uturu laki shite talakur unsur warye laki chialakur uturu sur warye sarka tarlukurwa talakur lukuru yale sheta urumuru warye la karana surwa itete alakur uturu warye la kana lakuru seta shita lakur surwari muto sutulukuru ye talakrana satalaki shatalakurun surwa muru utulukurun se la karana shatalakur surwaki itulukur usur warye chetalakur usutur yahre la karata shatara ito uturu shuturu lukur yahre tarlakur murwa Yalakur turlo kitsak lakurun surlo italakurun surwari ilshatalakurun surwari itzat maratorlokur yalakrata usurwa ikalakur usurwari tarlakurwara mite shuturlok usurwa tieshatalakurwari yala murwari yalakrana urwari yalakrana sha yatalakurun surloko talakurun nashatra itolokurun salakrana kurwarya itolokurun salakaruturwari anashita tilokurun wariana hatara. Calling forth your own source love to come forth and fill in any gaps, fill in any holes from what is being released today. Salakur suru yeshatarlakur soturu kitishtargara tilokur suru waria ke shatarlakur suru waria mar atarlakur suru ata shatarlakur suru waria italakur turlokur sir la kishatar no waria shatara mara talakur tur nasitar iti shatara Arotor lokur suru waria ke nashatarlakur suru waria itala korwori la kro ara la korwar arana shat italo koro surwari la krana hurwaria ikulo koro shotor loi itala krono surwaria la. Take a deep breath in and exhale as we now bring in divine source love into your brain and nervous system now. To reset, to rejuvenate, to remember the true divinity of who you are. And allowing this divine source love to go into the rest of your body, to continuously scan for any other trauma that needs to be released as meant and as appropriate. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. As we now integrate. Ground. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And slowly bring yourself back and open your eyes. So it is.
Thank you, Vinolan. So
Thank you,
powerful,
Tariq.
brother.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Anytime. I love your work. I love just whatever you're bringing to us, man. It's so powerful and it's instant and it shifts. And for anyone who's interested in clearing negative energies or entities or anything like that, or any trauma healing work that you do, if you're teaching this, how can people reach out to you, and what do you've got going on? What can you help people with, and how can they reach you? And Ezekiel here says, hello. Pernisha says, wow, thank you, Vin. Yeah, it was powerful. Another person says, thank you, Vin. It was so powerful.
Well, thank you. My website is vindragonheart.com. So you can get on there and book via Calendly.
You can go there and book in what?
In Calendly. There's links there through
Oh,
Calendly.
okay. To hop on a call with you.
Yeah, or people can send me an email at support@vindragonheart.com.
Beautiful.
They can also work. And currently there's, I use some of the technology that I will be teaching this Sunday. So right at the beginning, we did the dragon egg to do the shielding. So that forms part of the dragon armor that we'll be sharing on Sunday as well. So there will be a class at 9 p.m. South African Standard Time.
Yeah.
And if anyone is interested, they can send me an email and I'll send them the links for them for signing and for the payment as well.
That dragon egg and the dragon stealth skin thing is so powerful during these times with all the 5G and all the attacks. And brother, for those for the audience who don't know about light language and channeling, can you explain what it is that you were doing there?
Yeah, sure. So the language that I bring in is when I connect to my own source fractal. So direct from the source fractal. And it comes in forms of codes. So each verbal sounds, it has codes and information that's in there. It affects energy fields. It affects reality on a quantum level. It affects your meridians. So the meridians that I'm referring to is, if you're familiar with EFT or emotional freedom technique and all of that kind of tapping, we have a lot of trauma that's stored in these meridians, and they related to certain organs as well. When you tap on them, you release them. So with certain vocals, the interaction with these energy fields is in a way to release the traumas is actually stored and stuck in there. It also affects DNA as well, which is what I did today with light language. But essentially, I like working with light language because I found out that it's much more direct, it's much more quicker, and it is bringing something which is spiritual much more quicker into the physical. That's why I prefer using it.
I love it. And I'm reading this book called Word Magic. I don't know if you've read it, but it's so powerful. And it's basically sharing that the English language has been very intentionally created to use words to keep us imprisoned. So the fact that you're bypassing our rational mind and rational thinking and you're transmitting from a higher or deeper place that reaches a deeper part in us. We're bypassing the whole middleman that had this English language as a saboteur, as some spiritual warfare of the highest levels, that we're all kind of in it. But yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Please follow Vinolan and receive his medicine. And Star Traveler says, I felt the energy, very powerful. Beautiful. All right, brother.
Thank you very much.
Salute you.
Thanks for having me, Tarek. Much blessings
Anytime,
to you
brother.
and all of your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'll put those two links for the, and all the speakers, feel free to type in your website in the chat so folks can chat later on. So this one is the one about a high level MK Ultra mind controlled for like American government officials. She survived all of that from a very young age, the shattering of her psyche and being used and abused and all sorts of stuff. So what I love about this documentary is it not only shares, it shares less about her experience of what they did to her psyche, but what I love about it is that it just shows that no matter how messed up the darkness tries to shatter us and destroy us, how resilient the human spirit is. And as we're talking about what's happening in Palestine and Israel, not trying to create division here. I know it's a divisive thing. I'm simply sharing that the human spirit in all of us is resilient and is more powerful than, maybe because of these intense initiation experiences, we're realizing how powerful it is. And this documentary that I shared shares how the most evil-minded people, starting with Nazi Germany, they realize how to destroy and shatter the psyche, the ego, and shatter the identity and traumatize us so we can be controlled. And she's sharing how this is happening to us on a global stage. An example would be what happened a few days ago. These are not random acts. This is attack. This is warfare, not just on a people, on all of us. So check out this movie, highly recommend it. And then I'll put the link here for Dr. Gabor Mate's Wisdom of Trauma. Highly recommend that one as well. Sabrina has a message here for help with boundaries. You can reach me at sabrinasundari.com or feel free to add me here on Facebook as well. Beautiful. Excellent. So our next guest, are you ready? Rosa, I don't see your video. There you are. Boom. Superpower. Superhero. Okay. So our next and final guest, Rosa, is an energy. First of all, she's a soul sister of mine. I've known her for such a long time, and blessed to have you in and out of my life, and blessed to have you with us here, that we get to collaborate, even though I believe we're in the same city, but to collaborate here online during such a time where the world's going through a lot. So I appreciate all of you. Let's send Vinolan some energy, some gratitude, and all our previous speakers. And in case I forget, let's send that to Rosa as well. Thank you so much. I would say she's a powerful priestess. She's an energy practitioner, a sound healer, and she creates these amazing, amazing concoctions of natural, herbal, at least you did at one point, I think it's like oils and soaps and creams, all sorts of amazing goodness. Rosa Melando, welcome to the World Trauma Day. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel
My
very, very
pleasure.
blessed. Thank you.
Great. I love your background, love seeing your face. And please take it away, whatever you're needing, share. And I'm right here if you need anything, okay?
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Tarek.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
Hello. First off, so grateful to Tarek. for bringing me on and just making this event. It's so needed. And I believe that people will feel it on a global level. Every time we do this kind of work, whether we speak healing words or do our work, share our sounds, high frequency sounds, I believe that everybody will feel it and will become more light and more a world of love as opposed to fear, which brings me to trauma. My practice includes, for the most part, actually, I do serve many trauma people that have been through trauma. And a lot of people will come for an alignment without the recognition that it is as a result of trauma that they are feeling or compromised as a result of things like childhood or past lives. I'm a big believer of past lives. And I think what I like to do is also talk therapy along with my energy practice and sounds. And I work with crystals as well. I like to bring forward the awareness that's needed in order for people to expand the idea of healing, what lays so deeply within them that they're not even aware that it is compromising their life and that they're not able to live to their full potential as a result of so many things that lay dormant in their energy, in their physical. Well, for the most part, actually, whenever we miss it on the energetic body, it does manifest into something physical. So a lot of physical trauma, a lot of physical problems, I should say, and disease, of course, is as a result of trauma that we have so deeply embedded in us, not recognizing that a lot of the patterns that we have chosen in our life and why we're not able to go forward in life is as a result of, for the most part, our emotional body. And therefore, it affects our physical, it affects our etheric, our astral, our connection to spirit, ultimately, the connection to body, mind, and spirit. I'm sure you've all heard those terms. The connection to body, mind, and spirit is what my experience is with all these beautiful divine people that come my way asking for guidance, not seeing that they are the light already, not seeing that they are a loving, pure, divine human being already. Because whatever trauma they had experienced and continue to do so, because a lot of times, if you're not aware of your trauma, you may have a victim mentality. And with that victim mentality, if you carry it on in your life, you will be a victim, or it seems like you're a victim, to every single thing or every single person in your life, holding you back from seeing things in completion, especially when we continue to give our power away to people that we think know better than us. And as I say in my practice, I'm here to guide you into you being your own healer, into you seeing things from different perspectives so that you can heal what is so deeply embedded in you that is keeping you dormant and in fear of not moving forward in life. So, how do we heal trauma? There's so many wonderful ways that we can heal trauma. Some of it can be harsh, some of it can be gentle. Um, I like the gentle approach, but sometimes my channels that come through, um, there is there's almost like an awakening. But I like to tune into the person to see if they want to awaken to the perspectives that are being shared. Because I don't want to bring somebody into so much awareness all at once that they can't handle it. And then it could set them back. So approaching with gentle compassion, empathetic, and in a graceful way, and really in a heart centered way, not taking away from the mind, because the mind is definitely needed, of course. It is mind, body, and spirit after all. So, in the bringing things out of dormancy so that we can see that our full potential is right there and attainable by every single human being on this planet and beyond. So, I think it's important to seek guidance when we are feeling lost, hopeless, um, depressed, and stuck with no idea why we can't change our world, can't change ourselves. So, my whole structure is going into change, of course, trying to share perspectives that will allow people to want to change, or most people that come my way do want to change. But it's not just change, it's transforming and ultimately transmuting into a being that goes so forward that whatever is left behind is only a whisper of who they once were. And the only thing that may linger from the past is what serves them, no longer what holds them back, what no longer what keeps them in fear and victim mentality. I like to bring the understanding that it is all about the heart center in healing. And as we expand our heart and bring peace to our mind, anything is possible. Anything. We go beyond potential. We just become whatever it is we want to manifest in that divinity, in that purity, in that compassion and empathy, not just for ourselves, although it does begin there, but for the whole world, from trees to animals to even things that are physical that are made by humans, um, to a crystal, which I love and tune into as we all can. And I'm a bit of a, not a bit, I'm a tree hugger. So my whole thing is hug a tree. You never know what you will receive from that tree. But just by hugging it, the heart expands from the roots of that tree, grounding us further into this beautiful, beautiful Mother Earth. So aligning, finding balance, finding the perspective of what no longer serves any part of the body, mind, and spirit, and multidimensional spirits, so that we can have our connection to Mother Earth, but also have our connection to Source, whatever you would like to call it, our connection to the many spirits that just surround us, the angelic realm, the light languages that want to come through for every single person. I do light language, and it's a blessing. I also do light language songs or light songs, which is our connection to Source. It's actual universal light codes. And the songs are just like the high frequency sounds that I'm going to be delivering in a few minutes. It's a high frequency, and they're all messages, just like any sound that is of a high frequency, 432 hertz, 528 hertz. I could keep going. I'll also be working with 4,000 plus hertz, which are tuning forks of the angelic realm. There was a time I didn't believe all these things that I am saying at this time, but I'm here to tell you it's all real. It's all real. And it's all a blessing as long as we see past the illusion of always being in a traumatic, victimized, fearful state. Because within fear, it's very difficult to flourish in pure divine love. But don't feel bad. I too have had trauma. Most people I know have had trauma. What does trauma look like? It's been so lovely, beautifully articulated by so many already on this feed. Hmm. But trauma could even be just from a child that we think might not know anything because they cannot speak. But a child knows so much because everything actually is energy. So we don't need words. Once you get in tune with a child that cannot articulate in words and really feel that child and see what the child needs through crying, through breaking out in rashes, just a couple of examples, tuning in to somebody that cannot speak even. How many people can articulate their trauma when they don't even see it? We go around trying to please others before we please ourselves with the hope that somebody will accept us and love us because we may not have gotten that for far too long. But true divine love begins from within. So to me, learning how to love yourself, automatically you will love everyone and everything on this planet and beyond. So what I say is wherever there's a question, love is the answer. Period. Love is the answer. So with that, I'm going to go to sounds. At one point, I will be moving this a little bit, but right now, I'll just deliver what's right in front of me because I do have quite a few instruments that I'd like to share. Just let me, I need my glasses. See the time. Okay. So, if I may ask, if you would like to lay down or sit, close your eyes. It's easier to receive that way, but it's up to you. It is your free will to accept this healing in whatever way you feel. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deeply in, deeply out, at least 3 times. Deeply in and deeply out. And as you breathe, if you would like to set an intention of what you would like to manifest while we're doing this healing, what you would like to manifest in your life at this time. Oh, yes. Yeah. Slowly come back. Taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deeply in, deeply out. Allow yourself to feel what it feels like to be aligned in body, mind, and spirit. Feeling whole, safe, loved. For you are love. You are peace. You are joy. And you are harmonious beyond the veil of illusion. Love is the answer. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa, priestess, goddess. I appreciate you so much for taking the time to bless us with your words. I'm like, it's like your voice is just the wisdom that you're saying and the sound medicine. Thank you so much. You'd be great for recording anything that wants to be shared, like just your voice. I'm like,
Thank
if I ever write a book, I'd be like, Rosa, can you read this for me?
Oh, what a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tarek. Oh, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're always welcome. And thanks for taking the time to bless us with your medicine, your words, your energy, your healing, your presence, your being, and may it ripple throughout space and time. And even though some of the times the sound healing wasn't being heard, but I know that energy was felt.
Okay.
But it was
Thank
there.
you.
The intention was there, and I received it, even if I didn't physically hear. Some parts of it were harder to hear, but I know the energy, the medicine was still there, so we can still receive it, whether our physical ear hears it or not.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Rosa, if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to do that?
So right now, my website's under construction, so that's not possible. But you can reach me at rosamelando@simpatico.ca via email, and or Instagram or Facebook under Rosa Melando as well. And I do post events. I do also events, live events. So I do post those on Facebook on Instagram. And if you want to reach out on either one on Messenger, just reach out if you need a healing or if you need to chat. I also do Zoom. Not Zoom. I do more Telegram video actually. So, yeah. So, yeah. I wish you all the best, and my heart is with you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And so it is. There we go. Rosa Melando. Appreciate you, Queen. And let's just send her all the gratitude, all the blessings, all the energy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for co-creating this amazing experience. I appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time from all that's going on to be present with us to help anchor in these energies within our beings and to spread them to the collective. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May we forever be changed. And for those of you who are not aware, I've got 5 conscious rap albums under the name Indigo Prophet. Please type in Indigo Prophet on all streaming platforms. Check out the music. And a 6th album on the way. And then everything on my social media as well is there to empower you, to activate you, to leave you more remembered of who you are. And you can see me, you can find me on all streaming platforms under Tarek Bibi. Love you guys. Stay sovereign. And I'll talk to you soon.